This is Seasons of Discontent with your hosts Rick Snyder and Matt Combs on the Hogstye Network.
Welcome to Seasons of Discontent, Season 5, Episode 6, brought to you by Rick Snyder's Washington on YouTube. And I'm Rick Snyder.
And I'm Matt.
And we're back with all things Washington sports and life on the mighty Hogstye Audio Network and the YouTube videos. So watch us and learn. All right, so Washington will be playing Cincinnati at FedEx Field on Friday, return home. They actually have 4 straight home games, 2 preseason, 2 regular season.
Yeah.
So that for a while. Digital parking, which I've now been told I'll be getting my parking pass on the phone. Oh, that's going to work. I can just see how that's going. And I'll be parked out on the highway and walk in, I guess.
Yeah.
And, the Bengals, it's nothing game. I'd be interested to see what kind of crowd comes because everybody's, talking it up. But I looked at the New England box score last week and they had 65,000 there. It's just 1,000 of them didn't come.
Yeah.
25,000. So I don't know what to expect. It's still the last weekends of August. People go to the beach here. It's never been a big one. I think if they have a real 25,000 in the stands, that's probably good. I mean, we'll see how. I mean, I looked at StubHub. Like the New England. The Cincinnati game was $6 on StubHub. So obviously the demand is not high. You get most of the tickets on StubHub this whole season for under. The only one that's over $100 was Dallas.
Yeah.
So one of those things, but I don't know. I think they'll basically play more. I mean, Rivera has said, I like to play my guys a little, unlike other teams that are just bagging these games. If there's 3 now, they don't care. They care if there's 1. But I do like he's playing people. He's got a lot of new players on this team.
Yeah.
Looked at them all day. I was like, wow, there's so many incoming free agents and rookies. Man, there's a lot of guys need time together.
I mean, and like we talked about it in the off season, there was 13 legit wide receivers on this team, like for maybe 6 roster spots. And, we've already pretty much summed up the top 5. So you've got probably about 8 guys fighting for 1 spot. I mean,
and that makes DeAndre Carter getting it to be a returner.
Well, DeAndre is my 5th. So far I have McLaurin, Samuel, Humphreys, Diami, and Carter. And then, they cut Harmon. So it's down to like Gaty Golden. I mean, where do they go? There's a lot of guys fighting for 1 spot. It's the same thing with the DBs. We talked about it last show. There's a lot of DBs on this team that are fighting for maybe 1 or 2 spots tops. There's a lot of new faces at whatever they're calling it now. It's not Redskins Park anymore, but there's a lot of guys fighting for maybe a handful of positions. And, these are the times when those positions are solidified, whether you make the 53 or not.
So you don't have Cam Sims on your short list?
Oh yeah. You're right. Cam Sims. I would definitely take Cam over AGG.
Oh yeah. It's too bad. There's another guy, in the NFL, timing is everything. Like for Harmon, now for AGG in a way.
Well, and Gaty Golden is a draft pick of this regime.
I know, but he got hurt, missed the year.
Bingo.
And then they bring in the next crew.
Yep.
And, it's all so much luck in the NFL is being on the right team and staying healthy.
Yeah.
And something derail your career in a moment.
And that's a guy that we talked about heavily because he was in the 3rd round. We were thinking, damn, we got another McLaurin. And then it just hasn't worked out that way.
I can't say I've seen a lot in practice that makes me go, oh, yeah, you got to go there.
Well, we didn't see it in the game either. He dropped the 2-point conversion was ruled incomplete.
So I watched the Field of Dreams game. I had to put it on the DVR because it was like when the Nats were kind of weird. I watched a half hour of the Dream game. Then I had to go to the Redskins March football team game. And then there's still a half hour after that for the baseball game. Man, the baseball game went a long time. But I thought it was an awesome experience watching these guys come out of the corn.
Yeah.
I'm a Dreams fan movie because it came out right when my dad died. So it was one of those emotional things. I thought it was terrific. I thought, okay, they're going to play it again next year. The commissioner says they will. Let's hope he does it. And they always want the White Sox in the game. Okay, I can see the Cubs once in a while, but okay, the White Sox is part of the book. So she was Joe Jackson and all. Right. And I was thinking Washington be an opponent because Washington was the Nationals way back They were in the American League way back in this time frame.
Mhm.
Kind of, they were a charter member of the American League back there, and called the Nationals back then. I could see it. I'll pay the money. I'll go watch. That would be pretty awesome.
If they wear the hat with the block W, I'm in. I love that old school logo that they used to wear.
Yeah, but they need Max to come back and pitch for them.
Man, I watched the Dodgers game against the Mets last night. God, that hurts so bad.
I saw his manager said he learned not to talk to Max because he patted Max on the shoulder after an inning, and Max told him, "Don't effing touch me." So, whoa, he said, "Okay, leave you alone." God, Max, I love that.
Look, I know the Max thing hurts. Trey Turner hurts the most. It's still, you figured that guy was a benchmark on your team for the next 20, as long as he was going to play, 10 years. That sucks. I don't know, man. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, look, the prospects that we got, in the wholesale changes that the Nationals made, some of them look impressive. I'm not going to sit here and lie. And, we don't know what the Lerners and Mike Rizzo plan on doing in the offseason. They need to add some pitching. They need to add some bullpen, as we saw with the Philadelphia series where they lost every game in the 8th or 9th inning. But yeah, aside from that, I mean, those bats they got, they seem pretty good. Hey, JoJo Gray looks pretty damn good too. I mean, that big kid they got for Hudson too. I can't remember his name. He's a tall drink of water. He just needs to work on getting people out a little bit better, but they got some good return. But Trey's one of those guys that you expected to be here for 10 years.
Yeah, they have about 40 games left. I kind of figure they're going to win 14, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, they've lost 11 of 12 at one point here.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, they've lost the will to live.
Well, like I said, they should have taken 3 or 4 from Philadelphia, but they can't hold on to a dang on lead.
Yeah. So they played horrible. So they're not going to do anything, the rest of this way. And it's a shame, man. It's hard to watch, doing this.
The one I feel sorry for the most is Ryan Zimmerman. That's a guy that has been with this squad since he was drafted. He won a World Series here. Last year, he didn't get to play because of COVID. This year, it's just they're all going out with a whimper. I feel bad for that guy. Trust me, he's still a Hall of Famer in my book, and he means the world to this franchise. And if he wants to, he could work in the front office as soon as he retires and build a statue outside of Nats Park for him. I get all that, but I just feel bad for him that this is the way he's going to go out.
But now there's some talk that Juan Soto wants to play in New York at some point.
Well,
I mean, it's a couple of years from now, but I'm not sure what he said it when they were playing the Mets. I thought, yeah, you don't want to go play for the Mets. You want to go play for the Yankees.
Yeah, you want to get paid. You want to go to the Yankees.
Yeah. Bat after, before Judge or whatever. I love watching Judge too. How tall is he? 6'7", 6'9"?
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's huge at the plate. God, and they get that, 2 home runs in the dream game, I think.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's just like playing basketball against, one of the great.
So this question came up on Twitter while we were talking baseball. Obviously, they did the Field of Dreams game. They do the game in at the Little League World Series. What other movie / fictitious ball field would you like them to play at next? I know my answer.
Well, I mean, then you stay Bull Durham, and I have driven past that place, and not a very nice park. It's old. So Bull Durham's a pretty cool story too on there. I don't know. What's your choice?
It'll probably never happen just because obviously MLB has to protect its players and this would not be up to par, but I would love to see a Sandlot game.
Yeah, but then you still need the crowds.
Right. And so it technically really wouldn't be a Sandlot game.
Really, last year were Sandlot games because nobody was in the stands.
That's true. All we needed was a big giant dog to eat the ball.
Barry Bonds used to say, I wish I could just play in front of no crowd. And it's like, that's called Sandlot. You don't get paid. But other than that, yeah. He's like, oh, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. All right. So the other day I stopped when I do tour guiding occasionally. I stopped on my way through White House Park and I decided I'll do a quick video here. I stick on short tour guide videos about famous spots in town. And it was a spot about where someone was murdered over, the man killed a man over messing with his wife. And I talked about it and it got over 40,000 views. And then I did a short video when I was in front of this church where JFK and Jackie used to attend. I showed the picture exactly where they stood. They got 10,000 views. So what this taught me was sin beats salvation 4-1. I mean, it's like, whoa, you all want to hear about the murder and sex scandal, but you don't want to see the church one.
I told you, man, you look at the iTunes podcast charts, the hottest ones are always the true crime. People love true crime, man. I mean, that's why there's shows like Forensic Files, hell, even back to Unsolved Mysteries back in the 80s. I mean, Unsolved Mysteries came back. It's on Netflix. I mean, these are huge, topics that people love.
Well, they love that one. I can't even tell you where the man shot the other, but let's just say it was an appropriate area for fooling around with the man's wife.
I've tried to tell you for years now, true crime and what comes with true crime. Ghosts. You need to do ghosts. I'm telling you.
Well, I don't want to become a ghost and get all sick.
Well, you got to do it before you become a ghost.
Well, then I'll come back as part of the ghost tour going, ooh.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, great.
Do like the Exorcist stairs, and we can go to Mount Rainier. We can go to the real Exorcist home. I mean, come on. Well, it's not a house. It's a dirt lot, but
I did that one too. And I climbed the 75 steps, and it's on my YouTube channel, Rick Snyder's Washington. And I said, okay, you only get 2 minutes, 20 seconds on Twitter to show a video. You got to get up these stairs in 2:20. And I had no idea how long it would take me. I've climbed the stairs before. It's 3 series of 25s. And it was a 100-degree day too. So I do the first 25, no problem. I do the next 25. Okay. And about the last 6-7 steps, I had to earn it. I got up there and I looked, it was like 128. I'm like, woo, that was pretty good. And then I ended up making it a black and white video just to kind of do the Exorcist.
Yeah, to go with the theme.
Yeah, but I see people do those steps all the time. It's a lot of steps, but it's not insurmountable.
Have you ever been over to the spot where the true story supposedly happened in like Brentwood, Mount Rainier?
Yeah, I've never been to the exact spot. I know the guy who wrote it was a Washington Star religion reporter who heard all about it.
Correct.
And it was about a boy, not a girl.
Yes, it was a little boy.
And it was on the other side of town. And I know some ministers, and I've talked to them about exorcists, and they swear this is all true stuff, man. It's kind of scary. I was like, stop. I really don't want to hear about all this stuff.
Yeah.
They swear these kind of things go on. Okay. Well, I'm not doing tours on that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I know about where it is because I used to work over in that area, but yeah, no, I'm not stopping. I don't need to bring that into my house.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of quiet in Washington still, but there's a game Friday. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how the sports town, because with the Nats being dead and nobody else is playing, football's back. I know people are excited to a point. The Twitterverse has to calm down, take a breath, but they never will.
No.
We'll see. We'll see. New names coming. Supposedly it's down to 3. I don't know what to tell you. You hear all kind of things on it. You'll find out. Oh, now it's time. You got to put your hand into it when you do this. Anyway.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to put a separate microphone on the bell.
There you go. So, yeah. All right. So I'm Rick Snyder.
And I'm Matt.
See you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Seasons of Discontent on the Hogstye Network.